Good morning and welcome to Faith in the Morning. Something good is going to happen to you today, so expect miracles. Thank you for starting your day with me. Faith in the Morning exists to help you start your day with faith and encouragement, and that's exactly what's going to happen today. We've been talking about the last couple weeks the importance of being led by the Spirit of God and how God leads us. Yes, you can hear his voice. It's not just special spiritual people or super prayer warriors or prophets who can hear from God. God talks to you. And to say otherwise is to spit in the face of what the Word of God teaches. Jesus even said boldly that he is our shepherd and that we know his voice, and the voice of a stranger we will not follow. We looked at many different scriptures the last few weeks to encourage you to listen to God's voice. And as we've said many times, God will never lead you in a way that's against his word. He'll never lead you in a way that's against what he wrote in his written word. So he'll always lead you in line with that word. And that's so important. I want to show you something. Colossians chapter 3. We looked at it before over these last couple of weeks when it talks about in verse 15, let the peace of God rule in your hearts, or act as an umpire, to which you are also called in one body, and be ye thankful. So let the peace of God operate in your heart as an umpire. But I want you to see verse 16, because remember, we're talking about the importance of checking your spirit for evidence of the leading of God's Spirit. Verse 16 says, let the word of Christ dwell in you richly in all wisdom, teaching and admonishing one another in psalms and hymns and spiritual songs, singing with grace in your hearts to the Lord. The importance here, let the word of Christ dwell in you richly in all wisdom. So that's not a little bit. It means dwell with you in abundance. Think about it, in abundance. You know, verse 16 says it in the Amplified, let the word spoken by Christ Messiah have its home in your hearts and minds and dwell in you in all its richness. The New American Standard says, let the word of Christ richly dwell within you with all wisdom. So this is not just a little bit. It's a lot. It's an abundance. It's an overflowing amount. And that's an important way to be led by God, by reading the word every day and putting the word in your heart. You know, David said it this way in Psalms 119, verse 11, thy word have I hid in my heart that I might not sin against you. The Amplified says it this way, your word have I laid up in my heart that I might not sin against you. Another word for say laid up or hidden is deposit. When's the last time you made a good deposit of the word in your heart? Are you overdraft? Are you insufficient in the word? If so, you need to get back into the place where you continually make deposits of the word. You know, one of the ways to make a small deposit of the word is this podcast every single day. That does make a deposit in your heart. But I encourage every single person to read at least one chapter of the Word of God aloud a day. Why? That deposits the Word in your heart. And faith comes by hearing, and hearing by the Word of God. Listen to podcasts like this one. Study the Word of God. Go to church every single Sunday. You have midweek experiences. Tune into that. Why? You're depositing the word. The more you deposit the word, the more you hear from the word. The more you put the word in your heart, the more the word will speak to you. It's developing your spirit. It's strengthening your spirit and getting your spirit in tune to hear from the Spirit of God. And you'll know it's him leading you because it lines up with the word of God. So I encourage you today. Thank you for listening. Thank you for starting your day with me. But take some time today to deposit the word of God in your heart. Deposit the word by reading a chapter a day. It's like, well, I don't know what to read. I don't know what good plan to follow. You know, we have a plan on our Faith Plus app. If you log on to the Faith Plus app and you check in the area where you can sign up for different notifications, you'll see one called the Faith Plus Bible Reading Plan. We have a Bible reading plan here at Faith Plus to help you read through the Bible. Every time this plan, every year, you'll go through the entire New Testament as well as different portions of the Old Testament. What are we doing? We're leading people through so they can deposit the word in the heart so their faith can be built up and they can better know the voice of God. So take some time today, make a deposit. You won't regret it. It'll help you hear from the voice of God. I love you so much. Thank you for starting your day with me. Go ahead and subscribe on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, or Spotify. Share this podcast with others. Have a great day. God bless.